अल्लाहु अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदन रसूलुल्लाह अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदन रसूलुल्लाह हय्या अलस्सलाह हय्या अलस्सलाह हय्या अलल फलाह हय्या अलल फलाह अल्लाहु अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह इंसान है कोई कदाड़े में ना
मैं विंडसर ही सामने फंसे आया Got to me, no? You impressing her now?
Make sure you pick it up from this.
Yeah.
You mean make a sunnah?
So I think some people started.
Wait.
Okay. Yeah. Is it okay for you for a queue or not? It's fine. No problem. الحمد لله حمدا شاكرين والسلام على سيد المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. One of the, in fact, the first commandment that Allah gave to Bani Israel, after the commandment that Bani Israel must become a nation that adheres to the oneness, the worshipping of the one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah also says, وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ لَتَسْفِكُونَ دِمَاءَكُمْ. وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ, we took the covenant from you, لَتَسْفِكُونَ دِمَاءَكُمْ, you will not spill the blood of one another. The first thing that Allah is telling Bani Israel, right? وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ, we took the great covenant from you, you will not spill the blood of one another. In fact, even before this, the narrative before this concerning Bani Israel and concerning all of us is about the sons of Adam alayhi salam. When Allah in the Quran says, وَاتْلُوا عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ ابْنَيْ آدَمَ بِالْحَقِّ إِذْ قَرَّبَا قُرْبَانًا فَتُقُبِّلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمَا وَلَمْ يُتَقَبَّلْ مِنَ الْآخَرِ. Allah says, relate to them, tell the people the story, the narrative concerning the two sons of Adam alayhi salam. When Allah accepted the sacrifice of one of them but not the other one, but it drove the other one to this incessant rage, this incessant sense of envy for the other one. And so he says to his brother, لَأَقْتُلَنَّكَ, I'm going to kill you. Incessant rage and envy, I'm going to kill you, a murder for envy. And the brother says to him, listen, you know, إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ, I have fear of Allah, the Lord of the worlds. لَإِن بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَ يَدَكَ لِتَقْتُلَنِي مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطٍ يَدِي إِلَيْكَ لِأَقْتُلَكَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ رَبَّ الْعَالَمِينَ. If you stretch your hand to me to strike me with your weapon, I will not stretch my hand to you to strike you with a weapon that I could choose. Why? Because I have fear of Allah. I fear Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Allah says in this case, because the brother killed his own brother, and Allah says, you know, مِنْ أَجْلِ ذَلِكَ كَتَبْنَا عَلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. For that reason, مِنْ أَجْلِ ذَلِكَ, for that reason, we decreed for Bani Israel. But this, of course, is found in the Quran as a guidance for all of us until the end of time. أَنَّهُ مَنْ قَتَلَ نَفْسًا بِغَيْرِ نَفْسٍ أَوْ فَسَادٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. That whoever kills a soul or sows corruption in the land, kills a soul, an innocent soul, it's as if he's killed the souls of the entirety of humankind. It's as if he's killed the souls of the entirety of humankind. It's like one death, one murder, one killing represents all murders. Everyone's murder. We all lose a part of our own sense of being through anyone's innocent killing. And I was so sickened and so shocked and saddened at the murder of our innocent brother, Muhammad Ashraq. I mean, 18 years old boy. And I was trying in my mind just to imagine, okay, if he was 18, what would life have looked like when he was 17? What would life have looked like for him when he was 16? And go back another year, and then he's 15, and then 14. And I'm rewinding in my mind. Going from 18, rewind 5 years makes him 13. And a 13-year-old is just a child playing around in the snow and having fun with his friends. And that's 13. It's only 5 years and you get to 18. And his murderers were also 18. And just go back, what happened in that transitional stage between a 13 and an 18? What happened between a 12 and an 18? Those 6 years, 5 years, what happened in those years? Our Prophet emphasized so much, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. In his final sermon, what did he say? Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, inna dima'akum wa amwalakum haramun alaykum ka hurmati yawmikum hadha fi shahrikum hadha fi baladikum hadha. O people, insan, human beings. He's addressing insan, human beings. If we don't have a part of that sense of inner humanity, we will become like animals, beasts. beasts walking around the earth. And we have no sense of, moral control, no sense of control in our being. The whole basis for us as Muslims is that we believe in a day of standing before Allah. We believe on a day we're going to stand before Allah, and Allah will take us to task and we seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we believe in that. We believe in that. When the brother is telling the brother, listen, I fear Allah, Lord of the world, meaning, we're going to stand before Allah one day, both you and me, all of us. When Musa alayhi salam is telling Fir'aun, who is a mass murderer, the killing machine of Fir'aun, all of his arsenal, all of his troops, the killing machine, the psychopathic murderer Fir'aun. But what does Musa tell him? Musa says to him, listen, fear Allah. What does he say to him? He says to him, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah quotes in the Quran that Musa says to Fir'aun, مَا لَكَ. He says, what is up with you? هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّى. That wouldn't you want to seek purification? هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّى وَأَهْدِيَكَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَتَخْشَى. Wouldn't you want to seek purification in your sense of being, yourself, your heart? And I will guide you to your Lord, and you will have awe of Him, fear of Him, sense of control in your being. So Musa alayhi salam is striking the ayn, he's making the basis, the origin, the underlying factor is that there is a disease in oneself. And if we have not learned as human beings to control that, then we're all going to become like wild animals, wild beasts. Our Prophet said, أَوَّلَ مَا يَقْضَى بَيْنَ النَّاسِ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ فِي الدِّمَاءِ كَمَا قَالَ. The first thing, number one, the first thing Allah will account us for on the Day of Judgment, between us, our human social affairs, is with respect to blood. With respect to blood. The first thing Allah will ask us about is whether any blood was spilled between people. This is why when the Prophet says that there's going to be a person, you ask Sahaba, he says, أَتَدْرُونَ مَا الْمُفْلِسِ. Do you know who is bankrupt person? Bankrupt. They said, yeah, Ya Rasulullah, the bankrupt one, he has no money, he has nothing, provisions. And the Prophet says, no, he's not bankrupt. الْمُفْلِسُ مِنْ أُمَّتِي مَنْ يَأْتِي يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ بِالصَّلَاةٍ وَالصِّيَامٍ وَالزَّكَاةٍ. The bankrupt one from my ummah is the one that comes on the Day of Judgment with praying and fasting and zakat. وَيَأْتِي وَقَدْ شَتَمَ هَذَا وَضَرَبَ هَذَا وَسَفَكَ دَمَ هَذَا وَأَكَلَ مَالَ هَذَا. But he's bankrupt because what has he done? He's abused everybody else. He's fought with that person, punched that person, took the money from that person, spilled the blood of that person, and he comes bankrupt even though he has all of his prayers and his fasting and zakat. Meaning he was not mindful. We don't live as individuals just in our small cabins in the masjid or at home. We live amongst each other. We live as social beings with one another. And Allah is commanding us, therefore we have to be mindful of these things between us. And the first thing, that Allah will take us to account is in the issue concerning blood. Right? This is one of the gravest of all sins, that you would ever spill the blood of one another. But we have to really take responsibility for our community. Slough is on the rise in knife crime. It's one of the worst places in England. Slough, this small beautiful town of Slough, of knife crime. I think it's in the top 5 or top 6 of knife crime centers, of knife crime incidents in the entirety of the country. We all have a role to play. And I'm speaking honestly to myself and to you as parents. As parents, our children are not here today like they were here 2 weeks ago, and we could speak to them about their issues. And we spoke about, peer pressure and about having a sense of morale and inspiration, aspirations in life, but they're not here today. It's only us today. So we have to speak to one another and feel for one another. The young boy who was murdered, he also had parents. The murderers, they also had parents. Every child, sometimes that, one of the things that we have to try and do is realign ourselves, reconnect ourselves to our humanity. Allah never made us machines. We're not machines like robots, that we devoid of all feeling. Our Prophet, he taught us how to feel. He also felt, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and taught us to have that. Once he says, لا يدخل الجنة, that, لا تؤمنوا حتى تراحموا. He says, you will not believe until you have mercy. Sahaba, they said, Ya Rasulullah, we all have mercy. They said, we have mercy, Ya Rasulullah. He said, no, I don't mean you have mercy amongst each other. I mean rahmatun amma. I mean a general mercy. You have to have a general sense of mercy for all things, all people, all creatures, a general sense of mercy. We have to realign ourselves to that. Every parent, I was thinking about myself, my own children, that every parent, every single one of you who is a parent or even a guardian or who has nephews and nieces has aspirations. You aspire a good education for your children. Everybody does. You aspire, you have hopes and dreams and you have wishes for your children. You aspire for them to come to the masjid to be servants of Allah. All of these are aspirations. Every parent who's lost a child because of a crazed murder also has or had aspirations, had dreams and wishes for that child. That when my child grows up, I wish my child does this and this and this. For you, us, I'm speaking for us as parents, we have a lot of work to do. To, number one, communicate with our children. Communication is so essential for us as Muslims. To be able to communicate. Sometimes what happens is that kids reach a particular age and we think, well, now that's the age of internet. So the internet becomes, the main pursuit in life. Most of the time is taken on the internet or on the phone. And as long as they're on the phone, on the internet, it's okay because at least they're not troubling me. As the father, I can get on with my own work. I can go out to work. I can do my own things because the kids are busy. I mean, do you even know what your kids are doing in that time? Do we even have an idea what the kids are exposed to on the internet, on the phones? Do we have any clue? And it's one of the worst mistakes we make as parents to allow our children to have their own laptops in their own bedrooms, their own phones, all of this freedom. Not realizing they have full access to the entirety of much of what is good, but also much of what is corrupting. And it's that part that is the danger. When the people will say to Allah, Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah, the man will say, وَيْلَةَ يَا لَيْتَنِي لَمَ اتَّخِذْ فُلَانًا خَلِيلًا لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي عَنِ الذِّكْرِ بَعْدَ إِذْ جَاءَنِي وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. The man will say, woe to me, if only I didn't take such and such person as a friend, because he led me away from Allah's remembrance after guidance came to me. And shaitan is a deserter. Shaitan will desert in the hour of need. Shaitan is a deserter of man. We have to communicate with our children every day. Make it a practice that you would sit with your child and you would embrace your child. You will hold the hand of your child and you will say, what's up? Like, what's happening at school? How was your day? Who are your friends? And let's invite your friends over to the house. Let's do something. Let's communicate with them. What are their problems? Sometimes our kids, they suffer. They suffer in silence. They have these issues because of peer pressure. They have all of these issues. But they have nobody to talk to because we are not prepared to listen. Or we're over-judgmental, or too quick to judge. And they just want someone to talk to. If they don't talk to us, they're going to talk to the gangsters outside. They're going to talk to the gang members. And the gang members are very accommodating, very accepting and very accommodating. They will say, welcome, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to our gang. And we're part of you, we're like one family. Like one family. And we help each other. We're there for you. We'll look out for you. You get bullied, I'll be there for you. We'll bring the boys down to help you. This is the talk of the gangsters. Right? So the kids will feel comforted because they think at least the people are listening to my issues. If we as parents don't communicate with our children, number one, we will have no idea what is happening in that child's life. As the child moves from 12, innocent life, 11, 12, innocent life, 13, innocent life, going 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, then all of a sudden, something terrible has happened. There are many factors, and I'm not saying isolating only one. There are many factors, and I understand that. There are risks and dangers of this gang culture, gangster culture, of the damaging effects of these social currents of this music industry calling for shootings and stabbings and gang culture. I understand that. There is peer pressure. I understand that. But we have to be the first educators of our children before anybody else does. Our Prophet taught, he says, لَيْسَ الشَّدِيدُ بِالسُّرْعَةِ. The one who is strong is not the one who is the best wrestler. He completely transformed the mindsets of the Sahaba, radiallahu anhum jami'an. He transformed their thinking. He said the one who is strong is not the one who is the best wrestler. We don't resolve all of our problems by striking and by punching and by stabbing. We don't do that as human beings, as Muslims. That's not the way that we resolve our problems. But if the children are seeing our behavior as parents in the home, and the first instant we feel threatened by maybe our spouse because the spouse has said something that we didn't quite like, and the first reaction we have as husbands is to swear, and to shout and to swear, and to punch and to abuse and to insult parents and this and this. Remember, our children are seeing, they're learning behaviorism from all of this. They're seeing how we behave. That's how they should behave in school. If the father has no sense of self-control, no sense of patience, then they're learning, well, this is how I'm supposed to be in the streets outside of my home. But if we teach them, no, son, daughter, we don't resolve our problems like that. We have control. That our Prophet said, you're angry, you're standing, sit, you're sitting, lie down. You make wudu. The Prophet said, the one who is strong, the one who is wrestler is not the one who is strong. إِنَّمَا الشَّدِيدُ مَنْ يَمْلِكُ نَفْسَهُ عِنْدَ الْغَضَبِ. The one who is strong is the one who can control himself in a moment of anger and rage. That's the one who is strong. The one who is strong is the one that has controlled himself, learned within himself that there are barriers and boundaries I cannot cross as a human being and as a Muslim. That I'm learning to control myself. That's the trueness of strength. Our Prophet is teaching us, sallallahu. Our children have to be exposed to this. They have to learn these social Islamic values from us as parents. Therefore, communicate and show companionship, togetherness, that we're all in it together. One of the signs of the end of time, the Prophet said that there's going to be an increase in killing, haraj. The Sahaba, they said, what is that, haraj? And he said, al-qatl al-qatl, killing and killing. He said, hatta yati ala nas yawman, until a day will come upon the people, la yadri al-qatil fima qatil wal al-maqtul fima qutil, until the one who is killed will not know why he's killed, and the one who kills won't know why he's killing. The one who is killing, if you asked him, can you prepare for me an essay? Like you have essays in schools, you have an essay, a methodology, a hypothesis. You have an argument. You have reasoning examples, reasoning. You have to use anecdotal evidences, facts, opinions. All of these things make up your essay. And if you ask that child or anybody killing an innocent person, for instance, okay, now give me your case. Give me your case for killing. Write the essay, prepare the essay for me so you could argue your case. Show the analysis of why it was so necessary for you to take the knife to this human being, to that Muslim. They wouldn't be able to do it because the one who kills won't know why he's killing, and the one who was killed won't know why he's just got killed. I mean, the one who was killed thinking, there was no other way on earth we could resolve this issue except you taking a blade to my chest? Was there no other option, no other avenue we could have explored before you plunged that knife into my chest? The one who kills won't know why he's killing, and the one who was killed won't know why he's being killed. And one of the signs of the end of time, we have a responsibility, all of us, to be really guardians for our parents, for our children, for youngsters in the streets, for those who come to the masjid, for our nephews and nieces, to inculcate within them these very important messages. We should show our children, parents weeping. Show, when it comes on the news and the mother is crying and saying, I've lost my son, take your child and let him see. Let him see the tears of another person. Let him feel the tears of another person. Let him see the face of a father, a grieving father. Let your son and daughter see those faces, because those faces could become your faces one day if we're not careful. To make them therefore have this sense of empathy, perspective taking, the same way that we would grieve, others also grieve. If they feel pain, we will all feel the pain. But it is important for a child to know that that's something, that's an effect of someone's action, and we seek refuge with Allah. There is an effect of our children's actions. I want to speak briefly about something, all the time is almost out, and that is about a Netflix show called The Messiah. And I think a lot of people know about the Netflix show called The Messiah. And the Netflix show called The Messiah, it projects this idea of the Antichrist, or even the Christ and the Antichrist, And of course we have a key narrative in the Quran, in the Hadith, in Islam, about the coming of the Dajjal and about the coming of Isa alayhi salam following the coming of the Dajjal. And this movie, this TV series uses a lot of imagery that connects with Islam. The citing of the Quran, the citing of Hadith, Islamic sites, Al-Aqsa, Dome of the Rock, speaking in Arabic. And the individual in that show, in fact, is called Al-Masih. He's called the Masih, the Messiah. Our Prophet told us that لا يخرج الدجال حتى يذهل الناس عن ذكره وحتى تترك الأئمة ذكره على المنابر. That the Dajjal will not come out until people forget about him, and until the Imams on the minbar do not make mention of him, until they forget to speak about him. It is one of the major signs of the end of time, the coming of the Dajjal. And this Netflix show really is designed to confuse who will the Antichrist, the Dajjal, be. The Prophet says that يخرج الدجال, the Dajjal will come out when there is خفقة من الدين وإدبار من العلم, when the religion is weak and knowledge will be less and people will not know. He says, من سمع بالدجال فلينأ منه, whoever hears of the Dajjal should stay away, stay at home, stay back. فإن الرجل ليأتيه, because a man will go out to see him and will end up being his follower because of the doubts that the Dajjal will produce. And the Prophet says, ما من from the creation of Adam alayhi salam إلى أن تقوم الساعة فتنة أكبر من فتنة الدجال. From the creation of Adam alayhi salam until the end of time, there is no fitna, no trial, no tribulation, no temptation that is greater in severity than the fitna of the Dajjal. It is something for us to know about, to be warned about, because he will come out in a time of confusion. يُصَدِّقُ فِيهَا الْكَاذِبُ وَيُكَذِّبُ فِيهَا الصَّادِقُ, where people will believe the liar and they will disbelieve the one who is speaking the truth. A time of mass killing. You will know why people are killing. And this will be the context of the emergence of the Dajjal. It is not something, therefore, we're only speaking because of this Netflix production called The Messiah, because it's part of our deen to speak about this as a warning. But there are things, our time is up, but there are warning, there are protections the Prophet gave for us to do. He said, for example, إِذَا تَشَهَدَ أَحَدَكُمْ فَلْيَسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ أَرْبَعَةٍ. When you were all making tashahud, at the end of your salah, التَّحِيَاتُ لِلَّهِ وَالصَّلَوَاتُ وَالطَّيِّبَاتِ, he says, seek refuge with Allah from 4 things. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من عذاب جهنم ومن عذاب القبر ومن فتنة المحيا والممات ومن شر فتنة المسيح الدجال. I seek refuge with Allah from the fire of Jahannam, from the punishment of the grave, from the trial of life and death, and I seek refuge with Allah from the fitna of the false Messiah. The false Messiah, the Dajjal. Imam Tawus كان يأمر ابنه بإعادة الصلاة إذا لم يقرأ هذا الدعاء في صلاته. Imam Tawus would command his son to repeat the prayer if he forgot to read this dua in his salah. Not saying that that's the established rule, but it's just showing the concern of that great alim. That what happens if he emerges in our time, what would you do? He said, من حفظ عشر آيات من أول سورة الكهف, whoever memorizes the first 10 verses of Surah Al-Kahf, he is protected from the Dajjal. Imam An-Nawawi says, why? فَمَنْ تَدَبَّرَهَا لَمْ يُفْتَتَنْ بِهِ. Whoever contemplates those 10 verses will not be struck with his fitna. But lastly, to remember, we are not an apocalyptic, messianic people to become so paranoid about things. It's not our tradition, not our way. And the Prophet, in fact, forbade this. He says, إِنْ قَامَتِ السَّاعَةِ وَفِي يَدِ أَحَدِكُمْ فَصِيلًا وَإِنِ اسْتَطَاعَ أَنْ يَقُمْ حَتَّى يَغْرِسَ فَلْيَغْرِسَ. If the last hour comes, and in one of your hands is a seed, and you're on the floor about to plant the seed, and the last hour has come, and he said you're able to stand, not to stand until you planted the seed, then plant the seed, meaning do your job, carry on with life. Abdullah ibn Salam, he says, radiyallahu anhu, whoever, if the Dajjal comes out in your time, and you're in the valley and you're sowing your seeds, then don't delay in sowing them. فَإِنَّ لِلنَّاسِ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ عَيْشًا. Because after Dajjal has gone, people will still live. And they will need the trees and the fruits and the water from the trees. So therefore, just do your job and your responsibility. These are things for us to teach our children, because I'm sure kids speak about this production, the Messiah in school. They get confused. Who is he? The Prophet said, every ma min nabi illa hadara ummatu an ad-dajjal. Every nabi of Allah has warned his people of the Dajjal. ولكني أقول لكم فيه قولا لم يقله نبي من قبلي أو كما قال. But I'm telling you something no prophet has ever told his people about the Dajjal. الدجال أعور وإن ربكم ليس بأعور. The Dajjal is one-eyed and your Lord is not one-eyed. I mean, he will have a defect in one eye. And the Prophet said, إِذَا أُلْبِسَ عَلَيْكُمْ. If he comes out amongst you, فَأْلَمُوا, then you should simply know that your Lord is not one-eyed. May Allah save and protect every single one of us, and save and protect our children in these very critical times. May Allah make us responsible parents. Let us try our best from today, that we would sit with our children on a very regular basis, if not every day, and simply talk with them, communicate with them. It makes such a difference. Child can have so many stresses and pressures in life, but have nobody to share them with. In some extreme cases, they sink into depression, they commit suicide. This happens. There was a girl the other day, 26-year-old in Kent University. I mean, a PhD student who was bullied in the lab because of her accent and because she wasn't able to sail. And imagine it, and she hanged herself. At the age of 26, we're weak people. The mind, the heart, all of these are happening things simultaneously. We have to be mindful of how we treat one another, how we speak to one another, what we say to one another. Therefore, your children are young. Speak with them, embrace them, comfort them, and talk to them, and let them share and give them, show them, the excellence of these very positive Islamic values. May Allah aid and assist every single one of us. There's a request for a dua. And this is Brother Ijaz Bhutto's father, Muhammad Yunus Bhutto, has passed away last Friday in Sialkot, Pakistan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah grant him Firdaus al-A'la, and Allah raise his station, and Allah have mercy on his soul. Then Allah make you, Yunus, Brother Ijaz Bhutto, you, when our loved ones pass away, particularly our parents pass away, we become one of the greatest source of rewards for them, you. The Prophet says a person dies in qata amalu, all of his actions finish, illa min thalat, except for 3 things. Out of those 3 things, one of them is waladun salih yad'u lahu, a pious child who prays for him. So we can be, therefore, that source of goodness for our deceased ones, and may Allah make that you, Brother Ijaz Bhutto. May Allah have mercy on Brother Ijaz Bhutto's father, Muhammad Yunus, and have mercy on his soul and forgive his sins and raise his station, and all of our ones who have passed away. Allah aid the Muslims of Yemen and of India and of Kashmir and of Palestine and of Syria and of all places, and China, the Uyghur Muslims of China, and all places all over them. Allah strengthen the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and grant us victory and strength, and may Allah make us active in that pursuit. May Allah forgive and have mercy on all of us. Jazakumullah khairan.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد عباد الله من أعظم ما أمر الله به عباده الإيمان بالله وحده والكفر بما سواه وهو العروة الوثقى من تمسك بها نجا وفاز ومن تركها خاب وخسر قال تعالى فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى وأركان الإيمان 6 أعظمها الإيمان بالله تعالى ففي حديث جبريل أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال الإيمان أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره رواه مسلم والإيمان محله القلب وآثاره الأقوال والأعمال الصالحة والإيمان يتضمن 4 أمور الإيمان بالله يتضمن 4 أمور الإيمان بوجود الله تعالى قال تعالى أم خلقوا من غير شيء أم هم الخالقون أم خلقوا السماوات والأرض بل لا يوقنون ثانيا الإيمان بربوبيته قال تعالى ألا له الخلق والأمر تبارك الله رب العالمين ثالثا الإيمان بألوهيته قال تعالى وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون رابعا الإيمان بأسماء الله وصفاته الحسنى قال تعالى: ولله الأسماء الحسنى فادعوه بها وذروا الذين يلحدون في أسمائه سيجزون ما كانوا يعملون. فكل المخلوقات مفطورة على الإيمان بخالقها من غير سبق تفكير، لأنها لا يمكن أن توجد نفسها بنفسها، وما جاءت به الكتب السماوية تنطبق بذلك وتدل على أن ما جاءت به من الأخبار الكونية من رب قادر على إيجاد ما أخبر به. ومعنى ذلك عباد الله أن تكون العبادة بجميع أنواعها والطاعة المطلقة لله تعالى. إن العبادة التي يريد منا ربنا عز وجل إفراده بها هي التي تكون ناتجة عن طبيعتين فطر الله الإنسان عليهما، وهما الإعجاب بالعظمة والاعتراف بالجميل. إذا نظر في آيات الله في نفسه وما حوله تبين له عظمة الله. قال تعالى: وفي أنفسكم أفلا تبصرون. كما أنه إذا نظر إلى ما أنعم الله به عليه دعاه ذلك إلى الاعتراف بنعمائه. قال تعالى: وما بكم من نعمة فمن الله، ثم إذا مسكم الضر فإليه تجأرون. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وارض اللهم عن الخلفاء الأربعة أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والكفرة والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
استووا استقيموا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع، ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما. قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون. وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا من الخير فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. اللهم احسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة. اللهم اغننا بفضلك وجودك وكرمك عمن سواك. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم اغفر وارحم لجميع موتى المسلمين الذين شهدوا لك بالوحدانية ولنبيك بالرسالة وماتوا على ذلك. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
Assalamu alaikum. If there is any doctors in, yes? Okay, कोई बंदा, somebody collapse. You need a doctor? Yeah. Somebody's there, okay.
You need to keep the people away from them. Let him breathe. Remove the push.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you please clear the area around where the incident has happened, please? Jazakallah. If there's any doctor here, please could you come to the front of the masjid, please, on the right-hand side? Jazakallah.